Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, music, news, sports, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. My guest wears many hats. She sings, she acts, she does a lot of really cool things. She was on The Color Purple on Broadway. She just released a really cool song for her rendition of My Favorite Things, which is perfect for the holidays. We're with Patrice Covington. Patrice, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you. I love your energy, P. This is dope. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I mean, I kind of said it in the get-go. You wear many hats. How important is it for Patrice Covington to wear many hats?
Well, first of all, they're all sparkly hats. Okay, let's just not, there's no matte hats here. They're very sparkly. Yeah, it's just me. I'm a Gemini, first of all. So, probably most Geminis, are just super creative and outgoing and leapers of faith, and I'm thankful that the leaps of faith that I have taken have, I've landed on really nice, soft, plushy pillows a lot of times, and sometimes not. But I'm a goal getter,
Mm-hmm.
and I just really love to try different things, and love to inspire and encourage, and also just leave my mark in the arts.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, it's the time of year. I mean, who doesn't love a nice rendition of a Christmas song? Who doesn't love to listen to kind of like a cozy kind of holiday song? And you just released a rendition of My Favorite Things. It's out there for the world.
I did, and I'm so proud of it, Pete. I love it. I almost didn't even do it though, because I was like, are the holidays going to be canceled this year? Does anybody care about a holiday song? And as I said just that to some of my friends, they were like, what? I love holiday music. Or no, this is the year that we actually really
need it. I was about to say.
Yeah. Yep, to like help us get in the spirit. So I was like, all right. So I got with this wonderful musician and producer, Keith Harris, who's got Grammys on Grammys on Grammys, and also with Anisha Burchett. And we just created this magical piece that I'm in love with. It's a bop. That's everybody's response. Oh, it's a bop. It's an old favorite. Rodgers and Hammerstein, which takes me back to my first love of musical theater.
Absolutely.
But I put my Patrice spin on it, and I love it.
You say Patrice spin. What exactly is the Patrice spin?
Well, you know what? It just needed to have just something different and
Sparkles.
Unique. Had to have sparkles. Glitter is my favorite color. So, just something to make people feel good.
Yep.
Where music is very nostalgic for most of us. You hear a song and it takes you back. And I want to create that moment for people. Like when you hear this, you remember when it was 2020 and stuff was messed up outside, but you were with your family and you got to put up a tree and you celebrated with 4 people or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
It to be a classic and a really nostalgic bop.
But it's pretty crazy because, Spotify, it's that time of year where they release their Wrapped 2020. So everyone's kind of looking at what they've listened to, how many songs they listen to. And I think people are like overwhelmed with the amount of music that people actually consumed in 2020.
Yes. Some of my friends posted, millions of listens in like hundreds of different countries. It's beautiful to see that. It's been a long time since I released music, so I don't have one. We'll do one next year. But like it's really beautiful to see. I love it.
Absolutely. It's funny too how like the amount it told me it's like you listen to like 275 genres of music this year, and I'm like, what? Like I didn't even know that existed.
Yes. Or how much you've listened to. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like I got a notification. It's like you listen to 275 genres. I didn't even know. I know it's just insane, but there's a lot of like subgenres too, right?
Now that I don't really get with genres because I feel like everybody sings soul music.
Yeah.
Because it's whatever your soul wants to do, whatever you're feeling. I know, people sing and perform differently, the same song, but years later it sounds so different, So yeah, you listen to 275 different souls, I would say.
You've done a lot of cool things. You had an amazing, successful run on Broadway with The Color Purple. What was that kind of experience like? But what was kind of that experience like in terms of learning experiences that you were able to kind of bring to other kind of jobs or stuff that you've done in your experience, Patrice?
The Color Purple was literally a life-changing experience for me. The Color Purple was always a good idea.
Yep.
Not a lot of people want to do the same thing 8 times a week for a year and a half. And, I definitely had human moments where I was like, I don't feel like going to work. But every time I did it, it was never like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. Like, it was an experience for us
Yep.
on stage and for the audience. We watched people change right in front of us. People who, I learned that religion had no color. It was just so beautiful to see people connect and heal and grow from our little show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think people sometimes don't realize because I've talked to other people, who, they always watch the Tonys and they're really into it, and people that been in like Tony Award-winning productions, they'll even say this. I mean, the Broadway stuff, although it's huge, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem to be kind of like as talked about as compared to like shows on Netflix and stuff, you know what I mean? But like, there's a very passionate fan base there for Broadway. Like
They're
it's
super
big.
passionate. Yes, they are stands, as they say. Um, it's it's something that I hope that one day is more of a household thing. Of course, we have tours that go all around the cities and world. And they tour, and you get to see a version of it. But there's nothing like going to Broadway in New York City. And you get, especially if you go anytime that you go, you just get a whole different experience. You come out and you're in the hustle and bustle of the New York City streets and fighting people, trying to get through the sidewalks. It's an experience you will never, ever, ever forget. And people get addicted to it.
You have been nominated for a Grammy, but you have won an Emmy.
I have been.
Which is insane. That's amazing.
It is still amazing to me too. And that actually came from The Color Purple. It truly is the gift that keeps on giving. It still matters so much in my everyday conversations in life and in my career.
Absolutely.
The Grammy was for Ain't Misbehavin', of which I did in 2008. You can listen to that. Add that to your genres. It's on Spotify. But I was just 25 years old, and I got to work with Ruben Studdard and Frenchie Davis, Trinice Cobbins, and David Jennings. It's the 5 of us. And we took this show all around the United States, and we got nominated for a Grammy, and it was amazing.
Absolutely.
And then was the Emmy.
And, but like, does there come a point where, like that's I feel like that's kind of a difficult thing to balance because you won an Emmy, you were, which is, when you win awards like that, it's kind of the narrative of like the best of everything, right? But then, so there's like oh my God, I won an Emmy, but it's like, oh my God, I still have to I still have to put my 110% every day. I still got to be humble. Like there's a balance, right?
Oh, absolutely. I had that Emmy and had no job at the same time, so it's real life out here. These awards mount up on my wall, not to who I am, as my dear friend Jennifer Hudson loves to say. But, and it's true, like it builds character. Yes. And it might get you through some doors, but it's about the character inside that has nothing to do with the awards that I know really, really matters.
Absolutely. No, it's pretty crazy. It's funny because you mentioned like there's a lot of like American Idol kind of plugs now. You mentioned Ruben Studdard and obviously like Fantasia Barrino, Color Purple. I mean, it's like there's a lot of like American Idol ties there. I just thought.
I know, and I auditioned for American Idol one time. In fact, I auditioned right like smack dead in line in front of J Hud, and our story is just crazy and beautiful. We talk about it on the podcast, but American Idol, like those people are the people that I know have been truly talented and our paths lined up. So I was like, well, I guess I didn't have to do American Idol anyway. I still get to kick it with y'all. So here we are.
I mean, like Jennifer Hudson, I mean, that story is just unbelievable. I mean, I believe it was like she was top 10. But I believe, or like, but like I remember, no, like I think I remember her getting like like it was like the word, like it was the worst. Like my family watched it religiously, and like it was the worst. Like it was ridiculous when she got eliminated. Like it was just like what.
Yes, I know. And I've learned so much from her, her work ethic. I worked with her with the Color Purple.
Yep.
Fantasia wasn't in our Color Purple, but J Hud was.
Yep.
We did the one that's called the Revival for 2015 through 17, but J Hud was in it. And after that, I didn't have a job, and she was like, well, come on the road with me. And I sang background with her. And I learned so much from her just as an artist. Her work ethic is one of the most beautiful work ethics I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
That's my friend, my sister. But also, her allowing me to sing background for her opened up many other doors, and I was able to start singing background for several other people and legends that I'm really, really honored to say I got to do.
But it's funny. Like, I've seen interviews that Jennifer Hudson has done in the past, and like she really is like really kind of modest and humble about everything, because she talks about like it was like difficult for her growing up, and like just kind of like where she is now. I mean, it's just amazing it's like those are kind of the stories that like the people that work so hard, like there is kind of like light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. It's a true story.
It is
Beautiful.
it is crazy.
Yeah.
What are you hoping that people like like any content that Patrice Covington disseminates to the world, whether it's a song, whether it's a show, like what are you hoping people get from it? Like you mentioned, a lot of like, your Patrice spin on things, but like what are you kind of hoping? Like are you all about kind of this like, message of like it's important to kind of wear many hats and spread your wings type thing? Like what's that like when
Yeah.
it comes to you doing a lot of things like that?
So I have this saying called "Don't be a star, be a galaxy" that I made up
Ooh,
probably in 2007 or something like
I
that.
like that.
Yeah, you got to take it with you. It's trademarked though, it's mine, but you can use it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, don't be a star, be a galaxy, which just means many things, but to name a
Mhm.
few, obviously, like don't box yourself in. You can be a star in many facets of life. You don't have to just sing or just act or just be a shoemaker. Like you can do whatever it is that you want to do if you put your mind to
Absolutely.
it. You
Yep.
can do anything. And then the other is just like be supportive and allow others to reflect light onto you. You don't lose anything by sharing your light and helping somebody. I am a firm believer that there's enough out here for everybody, and what's for you will not pass you by. So help people, help them get their shine on, because when you got more than one star, it's a galaxy. And just be the light of the world. Just be nice and be light and helpful to people.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think too, it's like everyone always asks, you know what I mean? Like everyone's like, like wants to do something. They want to start a podcast. They want to put out a CD. They want to write a movie. You know what I mean? I mean, like anytime someone asks me that, like I just say kind of like, and it's kind of a lame answer, but I kind of say like, okay, cool, do it.
Do
Start
it.
writing it. Start
Do it.
writing it. Start filming it. Like I'm just like start like practicing. Like just do it. You know what I mean?
Just do it. Like Nike got it right. Just do it.
They really did. I have to say they did.
Yeah, nothing beats a failure but a try, and
Yeah.
there have been a lot of auditions in my life that I did not book. I've done some really major things, and I've auditioned for a million really major things,
Yes.
and I didn't get it. And so that continues to give me inspiration, because it takes one job. It just takes one yes.
Mhm.
So just do it. And that's why I do sing and act, and I'm an author and a philanthropist and and background singer and whatever. And I'll continue to do all that as long as I need to and want to.
Yeah.
I think,
But at the end of the day too, right? Like, at the end of the day, do what we love, but like it is a job too. And I feel like you being able to do all the things that you said, I mean, like that kind of helps from it helps from make you not only well-rounded, but it is like a job, and you're able to like provide like as much services as possible. It's better for the livelihood too, right? Like wearing many hats.
absolutely. They tell you got to have 6 streams of income, I believe is what it is.
It's crazy. Well, no, it's because we always talk about like, people see like, oh, no, they canceled my favorite show after one season. And like everyone is just at home, like, I'm not going to be able to watch the second season. But I'm kind of like, those actors won't have a job for
Exactly.
that. You know what I mean? Like,
Those actors don't have a job.
right? Like,
Yep.
I think Amy Hargreaves told me when she wrapped 13 Reasons Why and she wrapped Homeland. She's like, I was on some of the two biggest shows. They both ended this year. I don't have a job right now. Like she's like, I'm sure I'll get something soon, but right now I'm technically unemployed. Like it's kind of crazy when you think about that a little bit.
I mean, that's my story right now. I just wrapped a really great show. It's my television debut. And then now I'm like, okay. Yeah. And right now it's, very much, it's a flat season when it comes to auditions because it's the holidays. It's kind of very slow. So you just kind of sit and you're like, all right, can't wait to see what's next. I know it's coming. I have no doubts. There's absolutely no way I won't book another job, but I don't know what it is. So
exactly.
Like, all right.
I think the weird thing too, some of my friends were telling me is like, they'll like continue to audition and they'll work on like 3 or 4 things in the span of like 5 or 6 years, let's say. And then like all of a sudden, for some reason, those 3, 4 things like come out at the same time.
Yes. It happens. When it rains, it pours down blessings. We'll take it though.
That's literally happened to my friend. Shout out to Patrick Gallagher, because Patrick Gallagher literally like Christmas Chronicles 2, Wayne on Amazon Prime, and Big Sky on ABC. Literally, like he's like, they're all coming out like days in between, like days apart, like, which is insane.
Yep. That's how it is sometimes.
Blessings, it is crazy. And yeah, we're excited. You just wrapped, Genius, Aretha. We're really excited for that. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. I mean, you play Aretha's sister.
Yes, Irma Franklin.
And it's just gonna be amazing. But I just want to ask, I mean, like, what was that kind of like playing someone who like existed? Because I feel like that's kind of like a little bit of like a double-edged sword, because it's exciting, you know what I mean? And you do your research, but it could be also like nerve-wracking and kind of challenging as well. What was that like for you?
I mean, it's definitely risky business, but also I'm so honored to play her. And for her to have been such a part of a legend, Aretha Franklin created the music that's like the fabric of my life,
Absolutely.
And to know that her sister helped her so much. They were, they did a lot as a family. And in fact, she sang background for her sister as well. So, just to be a part of that family and that story, and to really get an understanding of how she became a genius, it just was the best. And I think it's going to be pretty magical.
And when I saw that Cynthia was playing Aretha Franklin, I was kind of like, of course. Like that's literally what I said. Like when they announced she was doing it, I was like, of course. Like this is gonna be perfect. It's gonna fit. What was that like working with her?
Well, we worked together previously, so it was like, here we go again.
I know Do you find it's like more of like, because everyone, like I'll talk to people and I'll be like, oh, like they're like, oh, this person, like, yeah, like I interview them, and people be like, oh, small world, you know what I mean? But is it like a small world, or do we just know a lot of people? Have you ever thought about that?
I think, somebody knows somebody that knows somebody all Absolutely. The time. Be careful who you talk trash about.
No, it's pretty crazy. Patrice, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really enjoyed this.
Me too. What a good time. Thank you, Pete.
No problem. So the song is out right now. My Favorite Things is out right now.
Yeah. Yep. It's out. It's available everywhere, all the platforms.
Isn't that easy? Like, where can you listen to it? Everywhere?
You can listen to it everywhere. Because literally you push a button and you say, yeah, it can go to all of those places. And
yeah, literally. It's great. There's a website called Linktree.
Yep.
Which is literally like, you can list like literally like all the areas where you can listen to My Favorite Things, and it will like, yeah, it's crazy.
I have Linktree on my Instagram, like in my bio. That's what I'm using to
Absolutely.
Like stop, go everywhere.
Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yes, I am at Patrice Covington on Instagram. I'm doing lots of fun things up there. And, I'm trying to get better on TikTok. So y'all can follow me at the Patrice Covington on TikTok. I'm very new, like just got it. And then that's it.
Amazing. Well, congrats with the success of My Favorite Things. Everyone's going to listen to it. Good luck. And we're excited to see you in Genius Aretha. That's going to be an exciting time. And thank you so much. I wish you all the best with future projects as well.
Thank you, Pete.
No problem. This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Patrice Covington and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.